you a little bit.
He's back.
The Garrison before his injury.
They were going to amputate this guy's foot.
Some of the bursts that he showed against the Colts, I thought the guy's back.
Garcia will hand it off to Garrison Hearst. He's got a big hole. He's to the right side. He's going to score.
I don't think anybody really, thought that this was going to happen to me the way I did.
The injury Garrison Hearst suffered in a January 1999 playoff loss in Atlanta to the Falcons was not your average broken ankle. Hearst developed circulatory problems that caused bone in his ankle to die, very similar to the hip condition that ended Bo Jackson's NFL career. It took 5 surgeries and more than 2 years of rehabilitation for Hearst to return.
Most of the time you're training on your own. You're not on the field with the guys. You're not working out with them. They may be around, but you're not playing on the field with them. You're not practicing with them, so you're not really a part of the team.
In the early months of his rehab, Hearst did have a workout companion, teammate Bryant Young, who had suffered a gruesome broken leg just 5 weeks before Hearst was injured.
I told him, I said, let's do this together and get back at the same time. He came back a lot quicker. And now I'm finally back out there. He comes to me and says, all that work paid off.
He had some setbacks, but he was persistent and he overcame adversity. So I really take my hat off to Garrison just for, his work ethic and his will to win and beat this.
Were you encouraging to him?
I don't know. I don't know if I was or not. I know he was encouraging to me.
He came back sacking the quarterback all over again. I said, that's what I want to do when I'm back. I want to come back and do the same thing I was doing before I got hurt.
Hearst's comeback was nearly derailed only days before the season began. 49ers considered letting him go in a salary cap move, but instead, Hearst agreed to restructure his contract.
Oh, I think you really have to give credit to the guys in the front office, because there was a situation where they almost released him.
We didn't know that Garrison was going to be available, but we kept hope alive. We kept him on the team. We kept him under contract for 2 years during his rehab, which is really unusual, but it's because we love him. Because we knew if anybody had a small chance of coming back from 5 surgeries, G-Man would.
Is it all the way back, or do you know that you're almost?
Me being out 2 years, I definitely got to improve on, steps here, steps there on different plays. But my thing is try and get better every game. We're moving on up, baby.
That's just been a weekly building process for him, and it's gotten to the point where, gosh, the guy is amazing. It's not just on the field. He's one of those guys now in the locker room that when I think about him, I just smile. I just kind of giggle because he's got something that adds to the chemistry of any football team.
Whip it, baby. Whip it all night. All night now.
I enjoy just being around the guys more than anything, man. Just being back in there with them, laughing with them. Not just laughing. I laughed with them when I wasn't playing, but it's not the same when I'm on the field.
I think part of the whole deal, and we've talked about it here before, is that the younger guys looking at the Niners win 10 games over 2 years saying, well, this guy's a Pro Bowler who's got his money doing that work and that hard to come back. What are we complaining about losing for? He's been an example, Steve, as you know, but he wasn't trying to be an example that way.
No, but he's one of the great personalities in football. He's a guy that'll block, he'll catch, he'll do whatever it takes, pick up the blitz. I'll do my job. He's a fantastic football player all around. I love being around Garrison. For 2 years, I watched Garrison rehab, and when I was around the team, I would say, Garrison, do you really think you can come back? He never wavered. Every time I talked to him, he'd say, I'm coming back. Inside my own heart, I didn't think so. In fact, I talked to the doctors, who include the fact that he's got a great heart, saying he's not going to come back. Only Garrison Hearst believed that he would come back. It's one of the all-time stories. I don't know of other stories like that where guys come back, and he's 1,100. He's an MVP of the team, maybe.
Yeah. And him and Owens. But, and you heard what Mooch said in there. We love him. That's why we wait.